What have you done that your parents punished you for? But it was totally worth the punishment. I took my baby brother away from my mother when I was 16, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat. My mother was a heroin addict who somehow kept getting custody of my brother Tommy after every CPS visit. She'd clean up just long enough to fool the social workers, then go right back to using. I watched my 2-year-old brother living in filth while she nodded off on the couch. The breaking point came when I found Tommy eating moldy bread because he was so hungry. Mom hadn't fed him in 2 days. She'd spent his formula money on drugs. He had a horrible diaper rash because she hadn't changed him in who knows how long. That night, I packed a bag with Tommy's clothes, his favorite stuffed elephant, and what little baby food I could find. I grabbed his birth certificate from Mom's drawer and took pictures of the disgusting house on my phone. Then I waited until she passed out. At 3 a.m., I carried Tommy to the bus station. We rode for 6 hours to my Aunt Sarah's house in Ohio. Aunt Sarah had tried getting custody of us before, but Mom always managed to fool the courts into giving her another chance. Mom didn't even notice we were gone for 2 days. When she finally called, she was high and just kept asking if I'd seen her phone charger. She didn't mention Tommy once. I recorded the whole conversation. The police showed up at Aunt Sarah's house a week later. Mom had finally realized Tommy was missing and reported him kidnapped. But when the officers saw the pictures of the house, heard the recorded phone call, and saw how well Tommy was doing with us, everything changed. They interviewed our neighbors, who told them about Mom's dealer visiting at all hours, Tommy crying through the night, and how they'd seen him wandering the street alone in just a diaper. The school nurse reported how I'd been bringing Tommy to the high school daycare while I was in class because Mom wouldn't wake up to watch him. CPS finally took Tommy away from Mom permanently. Aunt Sarah got emergency custody, but Mom wasn't done fighting. She showed up at Aunt Sarah's house at midnight, screaming that she'd kill herself if we didn't give Tommy back. I recorded that too. The judge listened to both recordings at the custody hearing. He looked at the pictures of Tommy's severe diaper rash, the moldy food, and the needle marks on Mom's arms in my photos. Then he looked at new pictures of Tommy, healthy and happy with Aunt Sarah. My mother started crying in court, saying she'd get clean for real this time. The judge asked her to name Tommy's doctor, his favorite food, or when his birthday was. She couldn't answer any of it. I answered every question perfectly. The final custody hearing was on Tommy's 3rd birthday. Mom didn't show up. She was passed out at home. The judge gave Aunt Sarah permanent custody. He also gave me legal visitation rights, saying my quick thinking had saved Tommy's life. Mom went to rehab 6 months later, not for us, but because her new boyfriend gave her an ultimatum. She called me crying, saying she was clean now and deserved another chance. I told her I'd bring Tommy to visit when she could prove she'd been sober for a year. That was 4 years ago. Tommy doesn't remember living with Mom anymore. He calls Aunt Sarah Mama now. He's starting kindergarten next month, happy and healthy. Mom still hasn't made it to 1 year sober.